Hello everybody, I'm so privileged to be on this channel. I want to appreciate Mrs. Ayobami Abraham for this privilege. I'm so privileged to be sharing all that I will be sharing today. My name is ESTHER Oyekune. I'm a child of God, a graduate of Bowen University. The founder of Baraka Events. Baraka Events is an event management and a decoration company. It's a company that was born out of the passion to take stress off people and, being a very well-detailed person and all of that. I have this passion for beautiful, seamless events. So, there are many events that you attend and you're like, there's always that gap. There's always that gap. So the company was actually born out of that passion to like, okay, there's something has to be done to work things out and all of that. So the company started on the 1st of August 2019. It's almost 2 years now. We've actually had to travel to different states in the country to plan events, to decorate events, and we work with different clients. We work with one of the questions was, what kind of clients do I work with? So I work with different clients, both the average. We're looking forward to taking lots of premium projects. But so we handle different weddings, corporate events, birthday parties, and, all these social and corporate events in general. So the importance of event planners can actually not be overemphasized. See, the truth is that if you go for some certain events, you would know if there is an event planner or not. Because especially for someone that is as finicky as me, my mentor described me as finicky. That's like, I'm so obsessive with details and all of that. So, there are some things that you may not even notice. There are some things that, as a couple, as a bride, as a groom, you've maybe gotten your vendors and there is one Auntie Shola or bro Shegun that said, don't worry, I'll be there. Trust me, on that day, Auntie Shola may not be there because Auntie Shola would likely come with her own guests. And, Auntie Shola is busy enjoying herself, taking selfies. But an event planner knows that she is there. He is there to actually take stress off you. So that's majorly what we do. Our major work is to actually take stress off our clients. Like letting you know that, most times when I talk with my vendors, I tell them that now, especially when it's not like a full planning, a full plan, there are different types of packages. We have the full planning, we have the partial, and we have the one-day coordination. Most people, especially many of our millennial generation Z and all of that, they already have vendors. They'll say, no, this person will be my photographer. Oh no, this person will be this. So they just want a planner that would come in and take it up from there. So most times when I'm talking to the clients, I'm like, okay, they've contacted you already, but I am taking it up from here. So I am now the one you would talk to. So if you have any issue, talk to me. I think just yesterday, someone was telling me, okay, for the games that will happen at this wedding, I will need this and that. So now, it's just a week to the wedding. I have a wedding next week. And, that's just one of the advantages of a wedding planner. Because now, when the MC told me about the games that will be happening and all of that, and I needed this and that, I was, it made so much sense to me. Not that others don't do it, but just try to imagine another event and the same MCs, when it's a week to the wedding, the same MC is now going to the bride to say, bride, oh, this and that, oh, I've not gotten this. At that point, the bride is actually thinking of a lot of other things. So the groom is definitely thinking about a lot of other things. So that's why an event planner is actually very important. But many people just have this mindset that event planners are expensive, event planners charge so much. And the thing with Nigeria especially is the fact that, it's not, I think generally, it's not a product, it's a service. So people tend not to, what are they doing? You understand that kind of thing. If you want to buy like a phone, that, okay, I'm buying a phone. But event planning, they're like, is it not just to come and talk? It's not just to, that's actually one of the issues we are battling with in the industry. But really, those that have come to understand that we have so much to give them. Actually, it goes a long way for them, because we give them, we plan, we start from the consultation to the planning stage, to the coordination, to the post-event evaluation. Some even take us through their honeymoon stage. So we are always there at every juncture. So event planners are very, very important. There's some events that, all those aunties and uncles, they want to intrude, no, this and that. But event planners, nobody knows you. They probably do not know you. So there are some things that they will not try. But if you decide to okay, your sister or someone in your church will do it, trust me, those ones probably have other things they want to face on that day. But an event planner is a professional that is dedicated to making your event seamless, worthwhile, and you and your groom, you and your bride, you get to enjoy every bit of the event. So usually when a client comes and, most people after the proposal, after they've said I do, they reach out to event planners and they're like, okay, you said that after we have said I do, we should come over. And they're like, okay, so what do I do? Where do we start? That's actually the consultation stage. So when they come in, we're like, okay, what kind of wedding do you want? What's your goal? What's your vision for this event? Personally, one question I'll ask my couple, my bride especially, is that, okay, both of them actually, but mostly the bride actually reaches out to look for a planner. So the first question I ask them is, what is important to you the most? You will find out that, I was talking with a few friends some days ago and I was like, okay, you guys, look at me. What do you think is would be the most important thing to me at my wedding? And they looked at me and they were like, important as in, I'm like, what do you think that if I have a 10 million budget for my wedding, what do you think I'll probably spend 5 million on? But something like that. And they're like, decoration. I think someone said my dress. They said different things. And I was surprised that they didn't actually get the answer, because I feel like what I would spend the most money on would be photography. Now, there are many people like that. My coach told us a story of someone that the mom, I think the lady's mom or the guy's mom had to sell a piece of land to get her desired DJ. It should be DJ. There are some things that, I've had different clients, and, first question, what do you think? What's the most important thing to you at the wedding? Some people say souvenir. Souvenir must go round. Some people will tell you, oh, my dress, I don't care if people eat. Some people tell you, oh, photograph, want the best photographer. Some people tell you, so there are different things that different people want. So when we ask them, what is important? What is most important to you at this wedding? We get to have that clear understanding of their brief, get to have that clear understanding of their vision for that wedding. Someone like me, I would always say that I think photography, my dress, very important. So someone like me would likely have a small wedding. If my mom agrees, I would likely have a small wedding and just a few people eat and we go. But I must take good pictures and be good and all of that. But there are some people that, no, they want people. They want people, everybody come and dance, enjoy yourself, eat, marry, be okay, and all of that. There are different stages like that. So this is at this stage, the consultation stage is actually when we get to know their vision for the wedding. How many guests are they looking at? But the interesting thing about this part of the world is that there are plenty moya. I hear and come. You might say, okay, there was a wedding I planned sometimes last year. And when I met the guy, when we were discussing, I was like, how many guests are we expecting? He actually said 800. But because I'm a planner with foresight, I knew that I had to make provision for 1,000. So I had to add to it. I told him, I said, 800 to me is not realistic. Looking at who you are, your bride, and your family. So he was like, no, 800, 1,000 is too much. Even the 800, he's just thinking it's going to be 600. He just decided to add 200 and all of that. But in my mind, I still emphasized, let us prepare, let us plan for 1,000 guests. Men and brethren, at the end of the day, we had over 1,000 guests. So thank God I had already prepared. I was not imagining if I had planned or prepared for the 800 he said. So there are actually some things that don't really there are some factors that don't make it so easy for event planners. But the fact that we have been equipped, we are experts. So we are able to manage all these things together, even when they come. So after we consult with them and all of that, we get to the planning stage. This is actually the stage where we get to, meet with vendors, we get to draw their budget. This is the most tasking part of event planning, event management, because this is the planning. Many people don't understand, they just say event planners, but actually planning is there, coordination is there. So the summing of the two is actually what event management is all about. So event planning is the stage where you draw the budget. You have to get the best vendors, you have to draw budgets. There are times when you would finish drawing budgets, you present it to your client, and your client says, no, but this is too expensive. And you're like, you were the one that suggested this particular vendor. I know, I don't want again. You have to go over it again. So it's actually very, very tasking. But, when you're passionate about something, you do it with joy. There's that joy, there's that satisfaction that actually comes with it. So after the planning stage is now the coordination stage. This is the event day proper. All that you've planned. This is when we get to know if your plans are actually good, actually reasonable or not. Because if there is no good planning, the coordination might flop. So coordination happens, it's a D-Day coordination on the day, everything you've planned, you tend to sit down and see the results. You go about all the vendors, check them, how are you doing, everything. Ensure that everybody is at their duty post. Ensure that your other event coordinators, like the guest coordinator, the food coordinator, the bride's PA, the groom's PA, every person, you ensure the hostesses, ensure that everybody is doing their duty very well. So that's what coordination is about. So after now, we get to the post-event evaluation. This is actually not about the clients alone, although we also mostly talk to the clients. Okay, how was the event? What do you think we could have done better? But this is majorly for the team, the planning team. We get to sit down and talk. How was the event? What do you think we could have done better and all of that? So planning is actually managing an event actually runs through the 4 stages of consultation to planning to coordination and then to the post-event evaluation. So event planning is actually very beautiful, and we've had lots. There are some people that are not even in the country, so you just have to be there for them. That promise that we will take the stress off you. We will help you. We will give you a seamless event. You just have to be there. I was telling one of my mentees yesterday that you will be at a venue and you will be stressed. But the only thing you can do at that point is actually to just go to the toilet, cry, clean your face, and come back and be strong. So your weakness, your sadness, or whatever can come back later. But for that event, you have to put in your best to fulfill your promise. So event planning is really beautiful, if you ask me, and it's just you knowing why you are in it. Are you there just for the money? Are you there just because, okay, event planners, there's no job? Are you there because you have to be sure that, okay, you have that passion for people? I normally say that I have in fact, a lot of people tell me I have soft spot for brides and for grooms as well, by extension. So, I don't just, I can't just bear to see my bride going through any kind of stress. When I'm there, I was paid for it. So every stress comes upon me, I take it because I've been paid to do it. So it's very beautiful actually getting a planner, because you have someone to talk to. I tell my brides, I tell my grooms, I am not just your planner, I'm a partner in this. You are paying me to be your partner. So anything that happens, tell me. I want to be carried along. Outside the business self, let me know how it's going. Are you okay? Are you taking your supplements? Do you feel good today? Are you sure so that they don't break down? Because if something happens at the event, it's going to affect my job. So I have to ensure that their welfare, outside the business, their welfare, every other thing about them is perfect. Someone reached out to me sometime earlier this year, and she was like, she wants to have an outdoor wedding. And it was really raining at some point. I can't even remember when exactly, but it was raining at that point. And I told her, sis, this is rainy season. And one thing that event planners, we believe in God, definitely. We believe that God can stop the rain for us. But we don't take some risk, especially something that is as big as that. Because at the end of the day, anything happens, event planner. So most times we do our best to tell our clients, these are the possibilities. Do you still want to go ahead? So, she insisted on having outdoor and all of that. And, I've discovered that a lot of persons actually want to have outdoor events because it gives this feel of destination weddings. It gives this, it's beautiful. Outdoor, flowers, green and all of that. It's so beautiful and all of that. But one thing people don't know is that it's actually more expensive than indoor. Some persons just feel, our budget is very low, so we want to just have something outdoor. But for the outdoor, you have to make it as beautiful as a garden. Even if it's a garden you're using, there are so many things you'll be putting, some things that ordinarily the hall would give to you. The hall would have AC, there will be chairs, but this one, you have to bring in chairs, you have to bring in fans, you have to bring in a lot of other things. So most people just feel outdoor I feel like that the reason why most people opt for outdoor events is because they feel like it's cheaper, but that's not always the case. So before you actually decide on whether it's an outdoor or an indoor event, be sure that you have weighed the pros and the cons. Indoors are good, they are great, but even in this new normal, like having this new normal, a lot of persons prefer the outdoor because for example in Lagos there is this restriction that was placed on halls that don't take more than this number of persons and all of that. But outdoor you can actually take, I think you can actually take as much as you want. So that's why most people just feel, let's just do outdoor. But really it's not always as easy as people think. The outdoor is so easy and all of that. So before you choose what you will, be sure that okay, you love it and you can afford it and you don't mind whatever happens, especially with the weather and every other thing. So the tips on deciding on who your event planner is. Personally, if I want to, get a vendor, or if I want to, before I even became a planner, if I want to get someone to work for me or to do something for me, I either go to their social media pages, check people's reviews, check their works, and all of that. So before you actually choose someone that will plan your events, because someone that will plan your events is actually very critical, because you don't want to just choose anybody. You don't want to choose someone that you have to be the one telling your event planner to calm down. You don't want to get an event planner that you have to be the one to, to be resolving fights between the event planner and our vendors. So you have to look out for a lot of qualities. Is the person patient? Do you think the person can work under pressure? Is the person intelligent? Do you think the person can think? Do you think the person has the ability to, when a lot of things are going wrong, do you think the person has the ability to manage it? So all those things, try and, you can even ask. Of course, you can, once you've checked the person's social media pages and all of that, you can ask someone maybe she has worked with or something, that how was it like working with that person? So you have to know, so that you don't just pay a planner and at the end of the day you keep asking yourself, what was the point? So you have to look out for those qualities. Is the person intelligent? Can you don't want to get someone that you have to be the one telling the person this and that. And another important thing, does the person have this, pay attention to details? Because there are some things that it won't be very nice when you are the one telling your planner that the decorator didn't do that well. The planner has to be the one to have, she is to sort every of those things out. So you as a client should not even in any way worry about some things undone, because your planner has actually thought 100 times ahead of you. So yes, all those qualities are actually very important in choosing who your event planner would be. And also another thing is that there are many event entrepreneurs, there are many event planners in town, but there are just a few event experts. Someone that is very good, that has bought Ashwebi for Auntie Shola's wedding, calls herself an event planner. Someone that has bought this and that for something's wedding is an event planner. So you have to be sure that you are not just, you're getting a professional, someone that knows that, okay, this and that, someone that understands the business, that understands event management. Not someone that, many people are actually in this business because of money. But it's when they get into it, they understand the reality. Because if you don't know what you're doing, people will not trust you with their money. So it's very important for clients to know that, okay, to be sure that, okay, it is an expert. She knows it. There are times when clients come to me, and the first thing I give them a checklist and love that, and they're like, oh, I didn't even think about this. You understand all those kind of things. So you shouldn't be the one to be telling your event planner that event planner this and that. Your event planner should be an expert, intelligent. They know what they are doing. They have a thorough understanding of the event industry. This is actually very, you get to, in this business, you get to meet with different people. You meet with a client and you're like, okay, so what color do you have in mind? There's one color that is trending. If you look at all of them, most of our clients actually want to go with trends. What is reigning? What is this and that? And most of them forget that, their personality, like even their complexion, who they are, actually is another factor to consider. Because it looks good on A, does not mean it will look good on B. But most times when they come to us and they're like, okay, this is the color I want. Most times, me as a person, I try my best not to, make them feel like they are wrong or they don't know what they are doing. I just try to sit them down and say, okay, don't you think that, yes, truly this color is reigning, but how about you combining yours with this and not with this and all of that? So while it is good, it may be good for you to, go with what is reigning, the trend and all of that. You have to actually be sure that the color you are choosing actually fits, actually fits who you are. Colors actually signify so many things. So you actually should sit down and beyond what is going on, beyond what your friends suggest, compare. There are times when myself, I go to Pinterest, I'm like, okay, you want this color? Then I show them different pictures. Okay, see, this person has your complexion. If you use this color, do you think it will come out this way and all of that? So beyond the trend, like I have said, try and, know yourself, sit down, talk to your spouse, the person you're getting married to, and ensure that you are really, really ready and that's the color you actually want to go for. My role model will always say something that expensive is relative. Something that is expensive to A may not be expensive to B. And something that you find, things actually, it's about priority. I like now that many people are coming to understand that their events are actually not perfect without event planners. So it's not that event planners are expensive. They are actually just charging you based on the value they want to give you. In this part of the world, because event planning is a service, it's not a product. If you buy a phone, you know that you are buying a phone, it comes with charger, it comes with every other thing. But when you are paying a planner, they tend to feel like it's something small. It's just a service. There's really nothing attached. But the expertise, the other people that will be coming, the headaches. It's just like we are taking your headaches. You are taking clients' headache. We're taking the stress off them. So those are actually the things we charge for. So and the interesting thing is that there are some event planners that will charge you 200,000. For the same job, for the same number of guests, some will charge you 2 million naira. So it's actually depending on you and how much you feel you're worth. So if you feel, okay, I can do it, you can. So it's not that there is no standard price. There are some people that will even do 150K. There's some people that will do 1 million. Some people will do 10 million. So it's just about people value, the value they are given. So it's not that generalization. Actually, I wouldn't say that it's incorrect. I wouldn't say that event planners don't charge much, but it's actually for the value we offer. That's what we charge you for. So about ladies putting their lives on hold because of a man. When I saw this, I was like, okay. And I was asked, do you think ladies should put their lives on hold and not do anything? I would actually say no. While I think I saw a quote sometimes back, while you wait, ensure you are doing something. when you have not gotten that thing you want, ensure you get yourself busy. Don't just, because as singles, you think, okay, you're waiting for the man to you get married to is not forthcoming, and you just keep folding your arms and watch. Trust me, I know some of you know that even men don't want to marry liabilities. Get yourself busy. And I was also asked, there was another question attached to this, that do I sometimes feel like I'm doing so much? I have to be very sincere in all honesty. I've actually had people, because aside from being an event planner, I also decorate events. Then I also make frames, all these wall frames, designs and all of that. Then I'm also into bridal hairstyling. I do ashwebi outsourcing. I literally do everything around events. So, I've had ladies like me telling me, only you. Of course, I have my team members, but they're like, how are you able to do? You have many things you can do. How are you able to do this and that? Are you sure? This one, brother, this one, you're not married and all of that. And I'm like, my husband, like, I'll get married. And it will, you should actually not stop your life or pause your life because of a man. Let him even find you busy. Let him see that he's actually marrying a resourceful woman, a woman that will not waste his resources, a woman that will keep multiplying it, a woman that is hardworking, a woman that will be a role model to the children, that the children would look up to. So if you just decide to okay, waiting, get yourself busy. There are many things to do. There are many, many ideas. There are many, some people, they are like, okay, maybe others are doing it. They don't want to get into it and all of that. But that do not allow that to limit you. It should actually let you, if you're waiting for something, if you are in the waiting room, permit me to use that, if you're in the waiting room, know that, okay, there are actually many, many things you want to learn on the journey. I always say that it's just like someone that is going from here to there. You're expected to go there, straight. That's where you're going. But sometimes God takes you through like this because He wants you to learn many things along the way before you get to that promised land. So instead of just sitting down as ladies and feel, I don't want to shout it. I don't want to, talk about myself. I don't want people to know that I'm successful. I don't want people to know that I'm doing business and I'm excelling. I just want to be low key so that my husband will come. That's actually not so reasonable to me. We have to keep working hard. The Bible even says that the Lord will bless the works of our hands. So if you don't do anything, there is nothing for God to bless. So you have to be a resourceful woman, a woman that will be an addition to her husband, not a subtraction, not a division. Personally, it's not like I've had it all smooth. I've experienced delays. I've had some things that, sometimes as a child of God, I'm like, God, this and that. Why did this not work? I thought we were close. I thought we were in this together. And, I've just learned to hold on to God in all of these things. I've learned to okay, God is my head. God, wherever He leads, I follow. There was a time I was really, just recently, business was not so blooming and all of that. So, and before now, I had, sometimes when I do my crafts, I try to record the process and all of that. So I had recorded some of these processes on my phone. I think I had some recordings from last year and I did some recording early this year. So I was traveling just some weeks back. And I was just telling God, I have to settle. There was something I needed to settle. And I knew I needed money. But at that time, it wasn't forthcoming. So I was just telling God about it, that God, this is the deadline. I need this money. And God was telling me that, what do you have? I heard those words clearly in my spirit, that what do you have? And I kept thinking, what do I have? It was more like a conversation that was going on in my spirit. I was just like, okay, I can do this. I can decorate. I plan events. I'm very intelligent. I'm very this. And it was just like the Holy Spirit just opened my head to you have some recorded videos on your phone. Oh yeah, start editing. Put them together. Let people know that you are. And it was almost my birthday, interestingly. So I just decided, okay, fine. This is, right there in that bus on my journey, on my way to Lagos. I started the editing. I did it all through. I think I did it for like 5 hours. Yeah, it should be more than 5 hours. And, you know, I just posted it on my WhatsApp. Everybody come and buy. And I tell you, what I made from selling that video tutorial package sorted out a lot of things. That's why I will not stop talking about God. Because when people ask me, what is the secret? God. Because he gives me ideas. There's some things I don't even think about. So think that I had recorded the video, I think sometimes in February. And then he was telling me just some weeks ago that, okay, put them together and sell it. People will buy. So when I kept pushing it, okay, people buy this, that. I put a time limit for the discount. And, it was just that. It was just like I felt God telling me, well done, well done. So it's actually in us, especially as ladies. We have everything. We have all that it takes to be successful. If we just decide, I normally say this, it's from a song. I like to say this line that it's not by my hard work, it's not by my skills, it's divine help. So aside working so hard and thinking you are intelligent, you are smart, that God factor is actually very important, because if you can actually think you will go far, but along the line things happen. So you have to actually hold on to the rock, hold on to God, trust him to lead you every step of the way. And to make a successful entrepreneur, I will say that you need the God factor amongst many other things. So yes, I think I've done justice to everything I was asked. I believe everyone has been blessed, and I hope that young ladies like me are challenged to go for the best. I believe young ladies like me are challenged to do it afraid. Don't think because other people are doing it. There is enough room. If as an event planner I decide to go by the people that are doing it, I wouldn't, because there are so many small players, there are many established people already in the business. But you have to know that, okay, there will always be events, there will always be weddings, there will always be that room for me to succeed. So don't just look at, and if it's not the event business, there are other things that you can do. But if it's your 9 to 5, interesting, beautiful, but whatever you do, ensure that you don't leave out the God factor. Only God can actually take a man as far as you want to be. God bless you. Bye.